Welcome to the Tradies in Business podcast with your hosts Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Divert your phone and grab a brew as Waz and Nic unpack tips, tales, secrets and stuff-ups from guests both inside and outside your trade, helping educate and inspire you to break the cycle of gut-busting and money stress and create a true trade business.
Now that I know the big red button means we're recording, even if the timer isn't counting down this Sunday morning, I can be the first to say, hello, tradies and business listeners. How are you this Sunday?
Hello, Nicole.
Hello, Warwick. Thanks for joining me here on the Tradies and Business podcast. How are you today?
I'm very well, host.
Clearly, I'm feeling sassy this morning.
Yes. Do you just want to get straight into it? I think you got something on your chest by the sounds of it, Coxie.
I do have something on my chest. It's burning. It feels like indigestion and I need to get it out. Are you ready?
Ooh. Should I get the beeping button ready?
No, I'm not going to swear. It's Sunday. I wouldn't do that to our listeners. Their little children might be running around listening, but they may hear cranky mum voice at some point in time.
Okay. Well, let's go, Coxie.
Word of mouth, listeners, is not enough.
No, hang on. I didn't understand anything you just said.
Why?
Well, my whole business is word of mouth.
Do you know how? Well, you know exactly how often we hear that. But what happens when the word of mouth dries up and you have no other, what do you call those things? Pokers in the fire. You're buggered.
Irons in the fire, yes.
Irons in the fire. That's pokers. But how often do we hear that our entire trade business is based on word of mouth? That's great. What's going to happen when that dries up? What's going to happen when all those people run out of friends to tell you about your business to and they stop calling? What will you do then? Do you have another plan? Are you got some pokers or irons in the fire? Are you thinking about what else you might be able to do? Or are you just going to sit back on your morals and decide that word of mouth will do the job for you? There's a poke in the chest for a Sunday morning.
Is there a reason you're feeling a bit fired up about this, Nicole?
I just am concerned for our trade business owners who believe that word of mouth will be enough for them to have a business forever, particularly in the current market.
Yeah, and it's a tricky one because you and I speak to a lot of trade business owners and it's the answer to the question of, so where are your leads and inquiries coming from? And it's, word of mouth. Okay, great. So you say you want to grow your business, Bob. How are you going to generate more inquiries?
Good question.
Cue the blank look on Bob's face.
Poor Bob.
Which is really hard to do on a podcast, but it's a bit of just like, you know what, throw the feathers up in the air and see what happens. Because if you don't know how to generate more leads, how the hell are you going to grow your business? Not even grow the business, Coxie. If you don't know how to generate leads, how are you going to make sure they keep coming in?
Exactly. How do you sustain that? Like, do you have a program in place to reward those people that keep putting your name out there? Or is there more than just word of mouth that attracts people to your business? Because I guarantee there is other stuff in there that you're not giving any credit to. But how do you, if your only source of leads is word of mouth and you don't really understand what that source of leads actually looks like, how can you encourage more?
You can't.
No, exactly.
The other aspect of that, Nicole, being very formal here.
You are. Hang on. It must be Sunday.
Is word of mouth doesn't actually mean anything.
No, it's just a recommendation.
Because, it could be referrals. It could be work from other trades. That's word of mouth.
Yes.
It could be repeat customers. That's word of mouth, really?
Yes.
Like there's just different types of word of mouth. And to say, it's word of mouth, it's like, so someone told someone else about your business and now they've inquired with you. That's a mystery, and you want to solve that mystery. Otherwise, you just have no control over things. And if you have one of those businesses that the phone rings off the hook some weeks and then you stare at it for hours on end praying for it to ring other weeks, that means you don't know enough about your marketing.
Or let's put it another way. Sometimes you're pricing a job really low because you need to capture the business that is coming into you.
Because you're desperate.
Exactly. Or other times you're really overpricing because you really don't want the job right now. You don't have time to do
Too
it.
much work.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a real problem with that, Coxie. I think that is so, what's the word I'm looking for that's not overly strong so I don't upset too many people?
Good luck.
I think that's just really crap behavior by any business. So just because you're busy, you're going to charge me more for something that when you're quiet, I could get for 20% less.
Yeah, but Uber does it.
Supply and demand.
Yeah. But they don't do so on the off chance they're going to win the quote. They do so hoping to push that person away rather than just fronting up and saying, you know what, I've got a 6-week, 2-month lead time. I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to get to you in that time. If you're still interested, I'd be more than happy to do the quote for you.
Yeah. And the mad part about this, the crazy part about this is instead of pricing yourself so that people say no to you, if you actually said, I'm fully booked for the next 4 weeks, I can slot you in for 5 weeks' time. How does that fit with you? It's amazing how many customers say, oh, yeah, no, that's cool. We'll wait. I mean, you know, I'd like to get it done sooner, but I hear you're really good because I came from word of mouth. So, yeah, we'll wait. And guess what? Now you don't have a big hole where there's no work in 4 weeks' time because you've been saying no to everybody because you're busy on the tools. And you end up with this crazy roller coaster ride in your business. If you just said, hey, we're fully booked at the moment, but would you be willing to wait?
And what happens to your word of mouth if you're turning into that guy who's just far too expensive anyway?
Yeah, or your prices are up and down.
Yeah.
Or worse still, one of those word of mouth people goes and talks to another word of mouth person and says, oh, I was really happy with his work, but gee, he's a bit pricey. Oh, really? I found him to be really good value. Why? What'd you pay? Oh, I paid $1,000. Oh, wow. He did it for $750 for us. Up-oh. Guess what you just did to your word of mouth business?
Gone.
So, yeah, there's some tricky things there that if you're doing them, I would encourage you to find another way and get better at tracking your leads, understand what word of mouth is for your business, how to generate more of it. Have a look at that whole thing of pricing up and down based on how busy you are. Oh, and worse still, can I just, one last little thing, Coxie, can I just jump in, please? With the pricing, the one that really irks me is, and please, if you're doing this, please stop it, is because you think someone can afford it, you price yourself higher.
Oh.
And if you think, you know, they're a bit tight or they can't really afford it, you drop your rate.
It's horrible.
That's the one that bugs me the most about that pricing thing. So just because I happen to have worked really hard and I drive a reasonably nice car and I take care of my house and I wear, you know, better clothes or something, you're going to look at me as a customer and go, oh, well, he can obviously afford it. I'll load that one up. But you don't know that I've got, you know, a disabled kid and my mum's in a nursing home and I lost everything 5 years ago in a house fire. Like, it's just, I think it's really, well, if nothing else, Coxie, it's just a poor way to make a business decision about pricing.
I think assumptions in business are dangerous, full stop. Doesn't really matter which area you apply them to, but this one particular, is the way you're talking about here, is incredibly dangerous and can only be damaging.
And same again, it's that inconsistency, Coxie, which I've hijacked your word of mouth thing.
You have, but you're talking to my tune, so it's all right. Talk away.
But yeah, I think the theme of all of that is be consistent and know what's going on with your business, particularly around word of mouth. It is such a common one. It's like, oh yeah, no, most of our business comes from word of mouth, and it's said like that's awesome, which it is. It's great if you're getting referrals, but when? And is it just random? Are you just at the mercy of other people? Because that's not really a true business. Oh, gee.
Goodness, that was ouchy. Sorry, folks. My little rant turned into a real poke in the chest this Sunday.
Well, and you know what, listeners? If you're cranky with me now, then good. I'm glad, because it's an opportunity for you to recognize what you're doing and whether or not it's serving you and your family to the best of your ability.
Mm.
You know, instead of running this random, well, quote unquote, business that is really at the mercy of whether people ring you or not, and you don't have as much control over your own income and how much money you've got for your family and when you're busy or not, then how stressful is that? How much does that wear you out, listeners, when that's the way you're running your enterprise? So wouldn't you like more control? Wouldn't you like to turn the tap on and off to suit you more? So, you know, if I've poked you in the chest a bit, then I hope it's got you thinking more about how you're doing things currently, and know that there is a way to change that. You can understand more about where your leads are coming from just by asking those word of mouth referrals. Like, hey, can I just ask who told you about us? Or where did you find out about us? And go drop a 6-pack around to the person who gave the referral.
It's not hard, is it?
Yeah, maybe you've got yourself an advocate that you can leverage, and you know, maybe there's some people you can ring up when it's looking like it's going to be quiet in a couple of weeks. Like, hey, you've sent us a few clients over the last couple of years, Warwick. You got anyone else that you're talking to at the moment that might want something done? So it can be pretty simple sometimes.
I think it is. The business is simple. We make it very complicated, but it is simple. This is another case of it being simple. Imagine if your quoting system was just all very systemized and it would spat out the same number for the same job every time rather than being totally random. And imagine if you had the tap to turn your marketing in various areas on and off. Again, systemized, simple. We just press that button this week and that button the next week, and you know which button to press because you have the information at your fingertips. You can't make any of those choices if you're not asking the questions. And where did you come from? Okay, now I need to reward the person that is referring us, or I need to put a program in place so that people know what's in it for them. Or I might need to look at other ways in which I can advertise my business. Or just because I rely on word of mouth doesn't mean that people don't want to check me out before they call. So I need to make sure that my other marketing is up to scratch, i.e. social media, websites, etc. Or how about I do some education for my clients around my pricing and what that looks like, or around my wait period because I'm so busy and what that looks like, all of which you can do in your marketing. There's a bigger picture here to look at. It's not as, I guess, small as, well, it's word of mouth.
Yeah. Well, that in itself is a massive topic that has so much opportunity to improve or refine, than just saying, yeah, I get my business from word of mouth.
Yeah, absolutely. So now we've given you a great big poke in the chest on a Sunday morning. I'm sure you want to run away and do something far more interesting than listen to us.
Yeah. Go like, I don't know, chop a tree down just because you feel better.
What are you going to do today, Warwick?
I'm just hanging. It's rainy and cold here in Tassie just for something new. Winter solstice today, so the days get longer from here on in, Coxie.
I am excited about that, but you must be well and truly overjoyed because what time does it get dark there in the afternoons?
Sun goes down before 5 p.m.
Yeah, well, we're not much after 5, so I'm not surprised by that.
But it doesn't. The sun doesn't wake up until 7:30 a.m.
Yeah, no, we're up from 6. God.
Poor old wifey's. Well, she's not old, but poor wifey leaves in the dark and gets home in the dark.
Yeah, that's not easy. I remember the eldest daughter's first year in England when the days are really, really short, and just how challenging that was to overcome. So I can imagine that Mrs. Waz must be finding the same sort of challenges. Here I am.
It does. It's tricky. It really affects the headspace. So no, we're enjoying the fact that today is the shortest day of the year.
Mm-hmm.
and that it's all downhill from here. So I think tomorrow is another like 10 seconds longer.
Well, I'll take 10 seconds every day. Thank you.
So we're just having some inside time, staying warm in the house, and we're going to go for a bit of a drive and an explore tomorrow
Nice.
on a Monday. So I'm going to have a Monday off, Coxie. You're going to hold the fort. Well, you're not holding the fort. You're actually driving the damn bus, really.
Well, it's just a mini bus, so it's okay.
The Tradies in Business bus. Oh, we need a Tradies in Business bus.
Well, we were going to go. Remember, we were on our stadium tour and it all went to hell with Corona.
And some idiot ate a bat or.
Or did they, though?
Anyway, let's stay away from conspiracies. The conspiracy of word of mouth, it's not enough, team. Make sure you're doing more than just word of mouth. If you'd like some more ideas on what to do, guess what? Here's the plug and the pitch. You know where to find more stuff. If you're not a Trade Desk member yet, what are you doing? Are you serious about your business? Like, really?
Good question.
Really serious? If you're already working with us, then ignore this bit. But it is free for another 9 days.
Ooh.
Trade Desk. Free. Coupon code Tradies for Tradies. Go to the website. You'll get a pop-up thingy telling you what to do anyway. But go find the Trade Desk. It's our subscription where there's whole heaps of stuff to help you with your business. But better than that is there's people telling you what to do with it, how to use it, how to improve your word of mouth marketing, how to figure out where it's coming from, just ways to change what you're doing currently and get more results from it. So it's currently free for your first month. Website, coupon, done, you're in, check it out. We'd love to see you there. And I'm going to stop waffling and say enjoy your Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Hooroo.
You've been listening to the Tradies in Business podcast with Warwick Bidwell and Nicole Cox. Find out more about today's guest, tools for your trade business, and other cool stuff at tradiesinbusiness.com.au.